Hello, everyone. Welcome to this month's webinar titled Managing Stress Throughout the Year. My name is Dawn, and I'm a health coach with Orthus Health. It is my pleasure to offer this topic for you this new year. Common cause of stress is a sense that your life is a little out of control and you're not getting anything accomplished. This webinar will investigate how setting goals and having a plan can reduce your stress and help you get what you want to get done. Here's what we will cover. First, we will try to uncover what is important to you and why it's important. These are the first steps to change and meeting your goals, whatever they may be. Having a plan to meet your goals can help you manage your stress throughout the year. We will review a specific planning technique to meet those goals and also review some time management techniques and finish up with some stress management tips. So consider what's important to you. What will help you manage your stress or feel less stress throughout the year? What else is important? Is it spending more time with your family or friends? Maybe you just feel like you're always behind. There's too much to do around the house or too many outside activities. Maybe you really do want to exercise and can't seem to fit it into your busy schedule. Is there something in your health that's important to you that you want to focus on? Really give this some thought and jot down some things that you want to accomplish this year. What are the 5 most important things in your life? So jot them down, and this might help. This is a top 10 list that I found online, but I'm only going to give you the top maybe 7 or 8. So a large number of people say friends, a purpose, freedom, peace, maybe that's peace of mind, self-development, love, food, water, sleep, and oxygen are all listed together. And faith, so like believing in something is as important as finding love and inner peace is. But anyway, so if you're thinking broad, that's okay, but you do need to eventually get more specific. And a lot of these things that I just listed are broad. But for example, think about freedom. Freedom is on this top 10 list. Is it time availability to give you freedom to do what you want? Is it maybe financial freedom? But really try to dig a little bit deeper to determine what's important to you. And why does it matter? Why are these things important to you? All accomplishments in life take an applied effort and application over time, and every goal will take your hard work and time. So it's really important to choose your goals wisely. First of all, the best long-term goals should be analyzed in the light of why do you really want this? The Sherpa coaching method or model calls this the why it matters, which is the principle you will be more motivated and persistent in moving towards your goals when you truly have thought through and understand why you want to accomplish that particular desired end state. What is the true root need, or what that accomplishing this goal will satisfy for you. So the more that the goal is based on your inner values, the stronger the motivation and perseverance you will have to invest your time and energy in achieving them. So let's use quitting smoking as an example. So if I quit smoking, I will be able to breathe easier and do more with my children or grandchildren, or be here longer term for my children and grandchildren. Or I also will be able to save up all the money I save spending on cigarettes for a new car. Let's use Christmas shopping as an example. This is what I need to focus on because every year I stress myself out with this. I never seem to be able to achieve this, but this year is the year for me. Anyway, if I start my Christmas shopping now for next year and complete it by November, I will be able to better enjoy the holiday festivities, including my kids, or church activities or other outside activities without being overly stressed. But finally, another popular goal this time of year is weight loss. So if I were 50 pounds lighter, I could do more activities with my kids or grandkids. I would feel better about myself. I would get my blood sugar, my blood pressure under control, and maybe get off of some medication and as a result even save some money. So these are just a few things. So now consider, what are your biggest barriers to achieving your goals? First, we need to put a label on those barriers so that we can address them and get past them. So think of your goal. Let's use just weight loss as an example. Look at this statement. If I only, I could. So if I only had the time to exercise, I could lose weight. Or maybe there's 2 or 3 statements that you can make for the same goal. If I only had time to meal plan, I could eat healthier and lose weight. Or if I could only get my thyroid under control, I could lose weight. So just kind of think about your goals and think about your barriers and your if only statements. Let's look at other goals. If I only had support, I could quit smoking. If I only had more time or money throughout the year, I could start my Christmas shopping earlier. Keep thinking about this for each goal that you have and go back to it as you think of more barriers that you need to overcome. Now let's move on. Think back to what's important to you and why. Envision this outcome or desired state and think about what your starting point is. Maybe a starting weight or an amount of medication or an amount of debt. It's time to come up with a plan. Success in life comes from achieving many goals successively that will lead to higher objectives. Therefore, it's important to choose your small and large goals wisely to focus your effort and make progress that sustains your motivation throughout the year. So using a backwards planning method can help you prioritize the most important or essential tasks to spend your time and energy on. Stephen Covey addresses this concept of backwards planning in his famous book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, as habit 2, which is begin with the end in mind. And that's really what backwards planning is. But Covey states, to begin with the end in mind means to start with a clear understanding of your destination. It means to know where you're going so that you better understand where you are now so that the steps you take are always in the right direction. So backwards planning means to identify your goals, choose your actions that will likely help you meet those goals, okay? Now, these are your long-term and your short-term goals, and we'll get into that a little later. But determine the many steps that are required to achieve the desired end state or long-term goal. Everyone has limited time and energy in life, so the next steps in the planning process are to determine which of the myriad of sub-goals you have to put your focus on. So starting with the end state goal or the long-term goal, what has to take place for that goal to occur? As a few vital tasks will take up 20% of your time and will yield 80% of your results. So it's important to determine what these vital tasks are. For a weight loss goal, it may be meal planning or scheduling exercise time. Determine your common pitfalls for whatever your goal is and plan for them. No plan is ever perfect, so be ready to make adjustments along the way, and you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with tweaking your plan along the way. So now let's look closer at long-term and short-term goals. Your long-term goal is your end state that you were envisioning. So what was important to you and why? So let's look at weight loss. If you have a goal to lose 50 pounds in 1 year, maybe for a wedding or reunion or a vacation trip, break it down. This is about 1 pound a week since there's 52 weeks in a year, okay? Your first short-term goal may be to lose 5 pounds by the end of January. I know you've heard of the term SMART goals, but I want to quickly go over that again. So SMART is an acronym. The S stands for specific, the M measurable, the A achievable, the R relevant, and the T time bound. So specific means it's defined and it's unambiguous. In this case, 5 pounds. And this is for your short-term goal, 5 pounds. Measurable, you can measure it by stepping on a scale. Achievable, is the goal reasonable to meet in that time frame? Well, a reasonable weight loss goal is anywhere from 1/2 pound to 2 pounds a week. So yes, 5 pounds in 1 month or in about 4 to 5 weeks is a reasonable goal. Relevant. So is this short-term goal relevant and worthwhile to your long-term goal? Well, yes, if your long-term goal is to lose 50 pounds, then a 5-pound short-term goal is relevant to getting there. And time-bound, so setting a time limit to achieve each short-term goal to be able to achieve your long-term goal in your desired time. So 1 month for 5 pounds for your short-term goal, and 1 year for your 50-pound long-term goal. So they're both time-bound. So think SMART goals for each of your short-term and long-term goals that you have, and also think also of those things that will help you achieve this goal and set SMART goals. For example, I will exercise 3 days a week for an hour. This is a specific, yes. I will exercise. Maybe you want to pick a specific kind of exercise like walk or something like that. Is it measurable? Yes, I can track my exercise with a fitness device or on a tracker or something like that. So yes, it's measurable. Is it achievable? Is this 3 days a week for an hour exercise goal reasonable? Think about it from the perspective of your schedule and your other responsibilities. Is this a reasonable and achievable goal for you? And that's going to be a personal decision to determine. So you only want to set achievable goals, okay? Relevant. Is this goal worthwhile and relevant to your long-term goal? Yes. Exercise burns calories, which helps you create a caloric deficit, which helps you to lose weight. So yes, it's relevant. Time-bound. Set a time limit. So is it time-bound? Yeah. You did set a specific time. 3 days a week in a week's time for 1 hour. So that's 3 hours in a week. So that is a time-bound goal. Okay? So let's look at my Christmas shopping goal. My long-term goal is to get all Christmas shopping completed by Thanksgiving. My short-term goals: have a list made and the money saved by April 1st, balance of the budget saved and half of the presents bought by July 1st. And this is my backwards planning, okay? The balance of my gifts purchased by October 1st. That way all gifts can be wrapped by November 1st. And then any stocking stuffers that I need to get purchased by November 15th. So that's my backwards plan for my long-term goal, to get all my Christmas shopping done by Thanksgiving. Is it specific? Is it defined and unambiguous? Well, I need to make a list, including everyone that I need to buy for and what my budget is. Is it measurable? Yeah, I can track on my list, check off the gifts that are already purchased and those that are wrapped or whatever. Is it achievable? Is the goal reasonable to meet in the time frame that I defined? Well, that just depends on, is it reasonable or realistic that I can save $100 to $200 a month between January and July, which is what my budget would end up being. So again, that's a personal decision. Is that reasonable for me? Is it relevant? Yeah, it's relevant to my long-term goal of getting all of my stuff done by November. Making the list is relevant by April 1st, as well as saving money and all. It's all relevant to my long-term goal. And time-bound. Is everything time-bound? Yes, my long-term goal is time-bound, and each short-term goal is time-bound. Okay, so now let's talk briefly about time management. Streamlining activities and tasks can be an effective time management strategy. How many of you feel like there just aren't enough hours in the day? That's definitely me. So why not evaluate your time and plan it to the best of your ability? Make your time work for you. So use this chart to evaluate how much time you spend on different activities. Prioritize your daily activities and decide where you can afford to adjust your times. For work, include your time commuting. Personal should also include hygiene, like showering, shaving, hair, makeup, that sort of thing. Social is time with your friends and family, enjoying yourselves. Sedentary may be time vegging out on the sofa watching TV or the news. Community may be any volunteer or church activities. Really list any other things that don't fit in any of these categories, but that are, necessary for you. And then maybe family activities like carting kids to and from practices, games, etc. Maybe that needs to be included in here. And then really fill this in and then really evaluate your time and determine what you would like to be able to spend more time on and what you can afford to spend less time on, or what things you can combine into the same time frame. For example, taking your kids to and from practices, or maybe waiting for them at practices. You could fit exercise in while you're waiting for your kids at practice, or maybe walk around. If it's football, walk around the field during the football game or whatever. So think of things that you can combine. Maybe your social time with your friends is going for a walk together and catching up. Maybe you're getting extra steps in while you're at work, so maybe some exercises during work time. So think about things like that. And, it may be helpful to look a little closer at an hourly evaluation of your day. So let's look at that next. Okay, so this is just a quick example that I threw together. So on Sunday, 8 a.m. church. So that includes getting up, getting ready, getting there. The time church starts till the time church ends, and then until you get home. So that's a few hours, okay? And then, brunch is, preparation, eating, cleanup. So that's a couple of hours. And then visiting grandma. So, the drive there, maybe it's an hour drive, the visit, the drive back. And then is maybe some family time, some exercise time, maybe hiking for a couple hours, or maybe the drive to get there, the drive to get back, or whatever. And then again, dinner. Dinner might be the prep, the cooking, the eating, the cleanup and all of that. Maybe 6 p.m. after dinner is when you prep for the week. So anyway, I only have from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on this, but you should really try to put one together for all of your waking hours. So if you normally get up at 5 a.m., have one that starts at 5 a.m. If you go to bed at midnight, have one that goes all the way up until midnight. But write in a week or two of how you currently spend your time, and again, evaluate where you can afford to spend less time so that you can devote more time towards your goals. make sure that your goals, your mini goals, and those things you need to accomplish, make it on your schedule. Okay, so now on to some stress management tips. So first stress management tip is one of my favorites. It's deep breathing, and the reason why deep breathing is so great is it's easy to learn. It can be done anytime and anywhere, and with practice, it can become automatic. If you're feeling stressed and you've been practicing it, maybe you're in a confrontation with someone, you might just unconsciously start to slow down your breathing, and it might help you relax. It might help you prevent, it escalating, right? So here's how you practice it. So practice by inhaling and counting for 5 seconds. So inhale, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. And now exhale for 5 seconds. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, and 5, 1,000. So repeat that 5 times and practice this multiple times throughout the day. You could do it in the morning when you get up. You can do it on your way to work in the car. You can do it at work, at lunch, in the evening. Right before bedtime is a good time to help you relax to fall asleep. So just continue to practice this until it becomes second nature. So that's stress management tip number 1. Stress management tip number 2 is meditate. And, the deep breathing comes in play also if you do decide to try meditation. And really just a few minutes a day can help you stay calm. Meditation and mindful prayer help the mind and body to relax and focus. Mindfulness can help people see new perspectives, develop self-compassion and forgiveness. And when practicing a form of mindfulness, people can release emotions that may have been causing the body physical stress. Much like exercise, research has shown that even meditating briefly can help reap immediate health benefits. Stress management tip number 3, be social. Call a friend, send an email. When you share your concerns or feelings with another person, it does help relieve stress. But it's important that the person whom you talk to is someone whom you can trust and whom you feel can understand and validate you. If your family is a stressor, for example, it may not alleviate your stress if you share your work woes with one of them. There's nothing more calming than spending quality time with another human being that makes you feel safe and understood. In fact, face-to-face interaction triggers a cascade of hormones that counteract the body's defensive fight or flight response. It's nature's natural stress reliever. As an added bonus, it helps you stave off depression and anxiety. So make it a point to connect regularly and in person with family and friends, not just texting, not just on social media, but actually in person. And keep in mind that people that you talk to don't have to be able to fix your stress. They simply need to be good listeners. And, try not to let worries about looking weak or being a burden on others keep you from opening up. The people who care about you will be flattered by your trust, and it will only strengthen your bond. On to stress management tip number 4, laughing out loud, or LOL. Laughing it reduces tension and improves your mood. Our brains are interconnected with our emotions and our facial expressions. When people are stressed, they often hold a lot of stress in their face. So laughs or smiles can help relieve some of that tension and improve the situation and your mood. Stress management tip number 5, listen to music. Soothing music can calm you, and your favorite tunes can improve your mood. Music can affect your emotions. Soothing power of music is well established. It has a unique link to our emotions, so it can be an extremely effective stress management tool. Listening to music can have a tremendous relaxing effect on our minds and bodies, especially slow, quiet, classical music. On to stress management tip number 6, get moving. Exercise releases what I like to call the happy hormones and can help you manage stress symptoms and improve your mood. So when you're stressed, I know the last thing you probably feel like doing is getting up and exercising, but physical activity is a huge stress reliever. And you don't have to be an athlete or spend hours in the gym to experience the benefits. Exercise releases the endorphins, again, the happy hormones, and can serve as a valuable distraction from your daily worries as well. So while you get the most benefit from regularly exercising for 30 minutes or more a day, it's okay to build up your fitness level gradually. Even very small amounts of activity can add up over the course of a day. Even, 10 minutes at a time, or a 20-minute walk, run, swim, dance in the midst of a stressful time can help you, it can really help provide you an immediate effect that can last for several hours. So get moving. Stress management tip number 7, practice mindfulness. We kind of already talked about this, but what mindfulness is, it's a basic human ability to be fully present in the moment and be aware of where you are and what you're doing, and not overly react to outside stimuli or become overwhelmed by what's going on in your environment. So mindfulness is just really practicing being in the moment. Stress management tip number 8, maintain a healthy lifestyle or a health lifestyle. Well, there's a lot of things that can fall under this. Eating a healthy diet is one. Well-nourished bodies are better prepared to cope with stress, so be mindful of what you eat. Start your day with breakfast and keep your energy up and your mind clear throughout the day with balanced, nutritious meals. Reduce your caffeine and sugar intake. The temporary highs that caffeine and sugar provide often end with a crash in mood and energy. So by reducing the amount of coffee, soft drinks, chocolate, sugar, all of that, you'll feel more relaxed and you'll also sleep better, which helps your mood. Avoid alcohol, cigarettes, drugs. These are also stimulants. Self-medicating with alcohol or drugs may provide an easy escape from stress, but the relief is only temporary. So don't avoid or mask the issue at hand. Deal with your problems head on and with a clear mind. And again, this goes hand in hand with reducing some of the stimulants. Get enough sleep. Adequate sleep fuels your mind as well as your body. And feeling tired will increase your stress because it may cause you to think irrationally. So get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night, and you know how much sleep you need to feel good. Everyone's a little bit different, okay? So sleep is important as well. Stress management tip number 9, manage your time better. We talked about this already, but poor time management can cause a lot of stress. When you're stretched too thin and running behind, it's hard to stay calm and focused. Plus, you'll be tempted to avoid or cut back on the healthy things to help you get other things done. The good news is there are things that you can do to help achieve a healthier work-life balance. Don't overcommit yourself. Learn how to say no. Prioritize your tasks. We covered that on a previous slide. Break projects into small steps. Maybe don't try to do everything at one time. And delegate responsibility. You don't have to do it all yourself. Whether you're at home, school, or on the job, let go of the stress, the desire to control and oversee every little step. You'll be letting go of unnecessary stress in the process. And finally, stress management tip number 10, keep a stress diary. So the first way to really start addressing stress is to know what affects you, what causes you stress. So keeping a stress diary for a few weeks is an effective stress management tool, as it helps you become more aware of the situations and things that cause you stress. Take notes, okay? Write down the date, time, and place of each stressful episode, and note what you were doing, who you were with, how you were feeling, both physically and emotionally. And give each stressful episode a stress ratio on a scale of 1 to 10. So 1 being, okay, maybe not that stressful, and 10 being very stressful. And use this diary to understand what your triggers are for stress and how effective you are in stressful situations. This will help you avoid stressful situations and develop better coping mechanisms. You can read more on this at www.skillsyouneed.com, and there's stress tips there. Okay? But I want to thank everyone for joining me for this month's webinar. It was my pleasure to provide it, and I'm hoping it'll be as helpful for you as I hope it is for myself in reaching my goals this year and trying to stave off so much stress throughout the year. If you're working with your health coach, give them a call if you have any questions or if you need anything at all. I wish you a healthy and happy new year. Thank you for joining.